Hey Cowichan, it's Alec Wheeler, Events and Membership Manager with the Duncan Cowichan Chamber of Commerce, and we're here with another session of Biz Banter. Today I have with me Jean Cardno of Cardino Shoes. Welcome, Jean.
Hi, Alex. Good morning.
Thanks for coming in a little bit early to do this recording with us. Much appreciated. I know your shop gets busy and bustly once those doors and the phones open for business. So.
Yeah, well, new ways, you know, we're limiting the people in. So, yes, it does get busy. So starting early is a good thing. Yeah.
Now, before we kind of talk about, the pandemic and how your business is adapting, maybe you can clear something up for us. So your last name is Cardno, and yet it's Cardino Shoes. So how did that happen?
Well, my name is Cardno. And when it came to opening a shoe store, I thought, well, Cardno's shoes doesn't sort of roll off the tongue as well as maybe I'll put the I back in my name, which I don't know why I came up with that, but it became Cardino's. Initially, we called it Cardino's, and then it just became Cardino's. So the customers and everybody else picked up on Cardino's, and that's what it's become.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. It's Cardino's shoes, and I'm Cardno.
Well, it certainly does roll off the tongue, and I got to tell you, it's not a shop that I forget when people are asking me where to buy good shoes in town. So you did something right on the marketing end. So
it's all about marketing.
Now we're talking a little bit, you kind of hinted that things are changing and you're adapting how you're going to be offering your services, as all businesses have done. But take us back to March, when this global pandemic first sort of became known, particularly in our part of the world here. And what were those first weeks like? And how did you just sort of look at all of these unanswered questions and unknowns and decide how to proceed with your business?
Well, I remember when it was going down, and you know, as business owners do, we get on the street and we sort of chit chat to one another, and getting news and information from afar, you know, from our government and our local bodies as well. But we were chatting on the street. What are you going to do? What should we do? Should we limit hours? Should we let so many people in? And it's sort of like over a few days, it just became really apparent that we had to close. So we closed, and the streets just became kind of empty, and downtown was like a Sunday every day. And yeah, we closed because it was the prudent thing to do, really. We had to.
Yeah, I remember being downtown at one point, midweek. I don't know why I was downtown, but I kind of made a run through the center of town, and it was eerie. It was kind of apocalyptic, you know. You half expected tumbleweeds to kind of go down the street, and but that's starting to change now. So what were the first steps you did to sort of shift or pivot your business, and then how has that changed in the weeks since, and what are you looking at moving into phase 2?
Well, at the outset, we stayed home for about 5 days. Well, I did. I mean, my staff, I had to lay them off, which was really difficult. And stayed at home, and then I would get emails, oh, I need a pair of boots. You know, we sell Blundstone work boots, so people were needing some boots for work. So I would come in. So I made appointments with people. I get pretty much gowned up, masked up, and would meet somebody here. And then my gal that does the Instagram and I got talking, and this is the time to do the website, you know, the online shopping. So basically 2 or 3 of us got together, and we put up as much as we could we created a Shopify website, and then we just uploaded as much as we could and went live, and we have been selling online. It took us 2 weeks to get up, and we keep adding every day. So it's been successful. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks, I would be still making appointments for people. So I would come in, or one other person, and we would just serve one customer at a time. And then slowly, well, by that time I knew we had to rejig the store. So I found a place that made the Perspex guards. I thought, okay, we'll get that up, and got that up and installed. I got, you know, the hand sanitizer, I got the masks, I spent the time figuring out how we were going to have to open, and knew that it was pretty much, being an old nurse, it was a bit like barrier nursing. So we had to protect ourselves and then the customer. So we now have masks. Everyone is to wear masks. We have our perspex up. We are cleaning with hot soapy disinfectant water, the chairs, the handles, the doors. And then we've now moved into policies given what the government has recommended, and put that into place. So, you know, after 2 months, we were really ready. So we opened probably about 10 days to 2 weeks ago, softly, 4 hours a day, you know, 5 days a week, and now we're full time. So
great. Wow, such an arc in such a short period of time, really, when you think about things. And congratulations, getting a website up, getting online, selling your product within 2 weeks. What a fantastic accomplishment. And you mentioned that's been successful. Do you think that's something you're going to keep going post-pandemic?
Absolutely. Like we're going online more and more. We're putting more products up. I mean, this is the new wave now. We've sort of hit the reality that people shop from their couch, and they, if not buying, they're perusing, they're looking at night, they're looking to see what they like. People would turn up at the door and say, I want to try this, this, and that on, because I've seen it. And it really clarifies for people so they can really have a good look. So yeah, we've moved into complaining about online shopping to becoming a place to go to, we hope. So it's
well, and it sounds like there's still that, you know, it's not a scenario of online shopping killing the in-store experience, because you know, it's almost driving traffic there, and you're still there to kind of welcome the customer once they've taken a look online and provide that experience for them. So there's some synergy there. It's working really well. And I think the great thing with your store too is because you carry brands that are so consistent, and brands that I think people, you know, once they buy, they want to go with. If they know you've got them in shop, and they can't make it into the store, they can be relatively confident that when they buy a pair, they're going to fit and they're going to do what, you know, they're going to be what they want, because they're familiar with those great brands that you offer. So
yeah.
That's great. Now going into phase 2, I love that you mentioned you used to be a nurse, you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit then from not only a retailer perspective, but from, you know, being a nurse in your past life. How are you managing, you know, there's mixed opinions out there in terms of some people wanting to be very cautious, wearing masks, wearing gloves, wearing all kinds of personal protective equipment, still being very careful with what they're doing. And then, you know, the other part of the population who really aren't taking many precautions at all, and even some having the attitude that, you know, if I get it, or we all need to get it for community, you know, building up herd immunity as they talk about. So, you know, what's your take as a retailer, providing a safe space not only for your staff and your customers, but also from your experience as a nurse?
Well, being a nurse, you understand disease processes, and you understand how infection passes around, and bacteria and viruses. So that's just a no-brainer. So for me, it was to be able to open, we had to feel protected. So for my staff to be protected is really important. Therefore, we had to create barriers to create that clean space for them for protection. So masks, all staff have to wear masks at all time. I know it's not easy to breathe, and sometimes we sort of go outside and take a big gasp and then come in again. And we ask everybody to sanitize when they come into the store, because people will want to touch something. They want to touch the shoes. So if my thinking is, if their hands are clean, sterile-ish, when they touch something, it should be okay. We do follow people around. If they've overtouched something, we wipe it down. We've got some disinfectant behind the scenes, and we just go wiping it down. We wipe with a solution of bleach, the terminal pad when somebody's used it, the counter around there, the pens, everything gets wiped down between customers purchasing. When people are trying on, we bring out the shoes. We'll leave the box in the back. We bring out the shoes. We ask them to try them on with a nylon, with a sock. Not with just the disposable ones, and then leave them if they don't want them. We'll pick them up, take them to the back, and with our back person, because we have someone in the back cleaning with the disinfectant and paper towels, clean out the shoes and then air them, and then we box them up later and put them back into stock. So and then discard the try-on socks and keep cleaning and I mean 3 people at a time in the store. We're a small store, so that was part of this rigidity, really, is that we're small, so 3 customers, 2 staff on the floor any one time, and we have just our space Marks and signs made of some cute little signs for the floor so people can keep their distance. And no, it just rules, and basically a sign that says what we expect of customers, and my staff have one for themselves, what is expected of them at work. So
great.
Pretty clear.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been really thorough, which is fantastic. And you know, when we were talking off camera, you mentioned that it almost raises some protocol that might be worth keeping, maybe to a slightly lesser degree, but during flu seasons. I mean, we have a population here, we have quite a large retirement and elderly population. And, you know, I know my wee mum lives with me, and you know, she would be horrified if I referred to her as a senior, but that's the reality.
We're all there too.
Right. And, you know, maybe there's some opportunities and lessons for us to learn about, you know, making our public spaces, making shopping experiences safer for those more vulnerable people during flu seasons, you know, that kind of thing. So
right. Well, I think everybody's vulnerable, and I think by being clean and being protected, you're preventing any spread of infection or viral infection. I mean, look at flu season. Why is it flu season? Because people go around sneezing and coughing. It's a virus too. And maybe if we'd, you know, covered up and respected our normal winter flu season a little better, you know, we would have had more insight into how to do this rather than being completely overwhelmed. So, you know, I think masks are a good idea. I mean, people have been using them for a long time in special situations, and maybe we just have to be aware of that. I mean, it's
absolutely
protecting yourself. And, you know, I've read online too, you know, people are talking about, oh, you boost your immune system. Well, you can't do it overnight necessarily. And yes, boost your immune system, but be smart. You know, you wear a seatbelt in the car, you ride a bike with a helmet. You know, your body's pretty fragile when it gets a knock. So, you know, nobody knows how they're going to react to something.
Absolutely. Now, you know, to encourage that way of thinking, you've come up with a really great promotion for your customers. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So, you know, with everything else, I always thinking about how to get people to wear masks, and also how to encourage people to come back to the businesses. And instead of sort of adding, you know, saying, oh, we really want you to wear a mask and the reasons why, I just sort of boiled it down to, if you wear a mask, you get $10 off your purchase. So it's not shaming people, as some people seem to think. It is encouraging people to make smart choices and rewarding them. So whatever way you want to look at it, you know, whatever your angst in life is, if you see it as a positive spin, then you're a positive person. So that's the way we take it, and that's the way we give it. Wear a mask, you get $10 off a product. So it's working.
Oh, great. That's great. I know we posted it on our Facebook page, and I think our comment was something like, you know, not needing more excuses to come and shop with you, but here's a great one. So
well, it just encourages good behavior, you know, just compliance, and keep yourself protected and keep the staff protected. I mean, I have staff who have, you know, some immune compromising situations, and they're here 4 or 5 days a week. They don't want to pick it up. I don't want to pick it up. I mean, can you imagine if we all get it? It would just be, would be all shut down again. So I think that's what people don't realize, that the, you know, we're pretty exposed with everybody that comes by.
Absolutely. Now, any kind of words of encouragement or sort of final thoughts as we move firmly? Now we're week 2 into phase 2 of BC's restart plan. You know, things are looking pretty good. According to the news, we haven't had many cases come up on Vancouver Island in recent days, which is encouraging. But final thoughts, words of encouragement.
I think just keep doing what we're doing. I mean, this is the new normal. I think the big changes will be if we can just keep this virus away. It would be nice to be able to travel again. So if we can keep this, if we can keep a lid on this, we'll get there. But it's not going away overnight. And our practices will be in place for quite some time. Perhaps people will always wear masks. Some parts of the world they do for that very reason. So I'm not going to stop anything. And if we went to a different level, I probably won't stop it. I'll probably always offer hand sanitizing. I would hope people will always respect virus season and masks. And for my staff, I would hope that they would continue to do that as well. And we keep cleaning. You know, that's the reality. I'd kind of like to know when the pool's going to open again. You know, I'm missing the swimming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you very much again for taking the time with us this morning, Jean. And I'm looking forward to coming and visiting your shop and seeing what you have in for spring very soon. Yeah, look forward to seeing you open, and best of luck with your staff. We wish you health and safety and a positive work environment as those doors start to open up again.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Take care.